got one game left to play, and here's Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse.
The hard one.
The hard one?
Oh, yeah.
This is the hardest game in the
one?
series.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, that doesn't say Castlevania 3 Dracula's Curse. It says Akumajo Densetsu, Legend of the Demon Castle, which is what it's called in Japan.
Wow.
15th century Europe. In this dark age, an evil person named Vlad Tepes lived in Transylvania. Having reached the limits of his power, he revived dark gods and used their power to terrorize the nation of Wallachia. Driven insane by his own greed, he planned to take over all of Europe. The Holy Church called out to arms and sent an army to stop Tepes, or as he called himself, Dracula, but none of them returned alive. So they returned dead? Seeing that their efforts were futile, the church decided to hand the task of slaying Dracula to the Belmont family, known as vampire hunters for many generations.
There's the whip.
But they were feared because of their power. They vanished and have not been heard of since. The Pope never gave up, and at last found one young man, Trevor Belmont.
Yeah, it's Trevor Belmont.
Ralph is the Japanese
Ralph?
name.
Oh,
Got
what?
it.
Ralph is the Japanese name. Not very Japanese.
It's still Europe. 100
Yes,
years
but-
before Simon Belmont, Dracula and mankind's battle begun. Except they change it later on, so it's 200 years before Simon Belmont, actually.
Yeah.
Wait! No, I think it still might be 100 years. Yeah, it's still 100 years.
I thought it was 200.
Well, I
You're
mean...
200.
Trevor is Simon's great-grandfather,
Yeah.
so it'd be 100. Anyway, here we got him praying at this cross.
He looks like a wiener wrap. Oh, not anymore.
God, such a slap.
So,
Oh!
oh my god, Beginning's a really good song. That's the name of this tune. Let's talk
Okay,
about the music for a
honestly-
second. It's obvious that I'm playing the Japanese version already, but let me get something out of the way. The soundtrack in the Japanese version takes, much like the original Zelda took advantage of the extra sound channels the Famicom, the Japanese version of the NES, had. And as a result, the audio is a lot higher quality than what the American version could possibly produce. So it had to be lower quality in the US release. But yeah, I snuck behind that goddamn demon's back and played the Japanese version instead of the English one. Honestly, it wasn't that hard. He's raiding my fridge right now. Hey, it doesn't matter if I'm raiding your fridge. It's not like you'll be alive to eat this food anyway.
Oh, what a bad boy. Fuck you, demon.
Ooh, I like the stained
Castlevania's got
glass.
good music. Castlevania 3's got good music. Oh, this is my favorite soundtrack of the series. It's so good.
I really love
You
this
better
game's
start
soundtrack.
dancing.
Although, much... like, along with gameplay, I think Rondo of Blood has my favorite soundtrack.
Rondo of Blood is very, very good.
But, I mean, we'll get to that when we eventually play Rondo of Blood. It's not the only reason I played the Japanese version of Castlevania 3, though. For one example is how much better this fan translation is over the actual one. The opening narration in the English version says, during 15th century Europe, there lived a person named Dracula. He practiced sorcery in order to create a bad world filled with evil. He started taking over the country of Europe, turning countries from good to bad. The good people of Europe tried to fight off Dracula, but no one was able to survive. At last, they decided to hand the task to the Belmont family. The Belmont family has a long history of fighting evil. The townspeople became afraid of the Belmonts because of their superhuman power. Fortunately, they found a mighty Belmont named Trevor.
Yep.
I mean, it is an NES game, so of course the translation's gonna be shit, but still.
I like turning good countries bad.
Yeah, I love that too, to
What
be
does
honest.
that entail? Hey, every time you tell a lie, does your whip get longer?
No.
Oh, it's a Pinocchio joke.
Yes, it is. The whip gets longer with the
Pretty
upgrades,
low
just
to
like in Castlevania 1. This game is much more of a sequel to Castlevania 1 than Castlevania 2 was.
Yeah.
It's a
they
typical,
realized that Castlevania was shit.
It's a typical stage-by-stage platformer with ridiculous difficulty.
Oh my gosh, I just got the funniest text from a friend. You want me to read it?
Sure.
Sure.
It says, if All capitals, mind you. If plastic is made from dead dinosaur oil, then plastic dinosaur toys are made from real dinosaurs.
This sounds like something Will would say.
There's zero context. The first text message of the day from this person.
Oh,
Like-
you lost your holy water for the axe.
I made holy water the other day.
I got a
did.
crucifix. You did?
How'd you make that?
Yes, I made holy water. It was so awesome. And I was with a friend.
Gabe,
I made
Gabe.
it, and my friend drank 20 ounces of it.
Ah,
I don't
Hunchback!
do that.
Oh, right, they're called Fleamen in this game. From now on, Hunchbacks are called Fleamen.
Flim? Gotcha.
Fleamen.
Fleaman.
But another reason I'm playing the Japanese version is, and this is actually the main reason, is because the difficulty's a little more balanced in the Japanese version.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
For example, in the English version, enemies will do more damage in later stages than they did in earlier ones. While in the Japanese version, it depends on what enemy hit you. How much damage you take.
Mhm.
See, doing this senior award stuff is hard. I'm sure our class or our school is from hardest.
Yeah. There's also a few other things where the difficulty is a little more balanced in the Japanese version, but seriously, we'll get into those when they happen. Seriously, if you're ever gonna play this game, play the Japanese version. You're less likely to tear your heart out, because this game is ridiculous. It's one of the hardest games I've ever played.
Oh my gosh.
the
is
Bone
it
Boy.
harder than
Bone
Zelda
Boy.
2?
Bone Boy.
Well, Castlevania 2 wasn't exactly hard. It was just tedious.
I said, is it harder than Zelda 2?
Oh, Zelda 2? I'd say that Zelda 2 is harder, but only because deaths are more punishing.
Ah, yes.
Yes. Yeah, you
I
did it.
recall.
You do Mad Forest through this playthrough?
Mad
the
Forest
Clock
has to
Tower.
be done, regardless of whether you
Oh.
choose it or Clock Tower.
I thought it was the split path.
Clock Tower.
It is a split path, but you have to return to the forest after the Clock Tower.
Gotcha.
Anyway, next time on Smash Team Games, we go to the Clock Tower.
Oh, it's so
Next
good.
time on Smash Team Games, more weird texts from Carrie's friend.